What is up, everyone? Movie Wayne back again with another Blu-ray and 4K update. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these. July was the busiest month of my life. I had my son's first birthday at the end of July. It was my birthday and Sam's birthday. So we've done like a triple celebration, and I was trying to get all the garden done because we had this big garden party. I have been making a bar at the bottom of my garden, which I'm very proud of. It's not entirely finished, but so much work went into that because I wanted to open it on that day. And I've just been buying lots of stuff for the house. So Blu-rays have been put to the back burner a little bit. I've still got an okay-ish pile here. It's not going to be the biggest Blu-ray update I've ever done or anything, but I'm hoping to be back on the Blu-ray collecting train once again. So let's just get into it now with the 4Ks first. Now, this is an upgrade for me. I barely upgrade from Blu-ray to 4K, although my OLED TV is making me want to do it so much more lately. I am so impressed with the visual quality, and this one just looked amazing on 4K. Now, there's a couple of upgrades in here, and like I said, I've only done it like 5 times before, including these two. It's not something I really do, but yeah, I'm going to start upgrading a few of my favourites now. And this is in my top 5 movies of all time, and that is James Cameron's Aliens. Now, I've been actually watching all of the Aliens films. I just watched Prometheus last night, which I really liked a second time around. But this is definitely the best one. I mean, I will be amazed if Alien Romulus can top this, but this is overall a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I never really know where to start when talking about Aliens or most of my favourite movies of all time, because there's just so many good things to say. I love the whole mother-daughter relationship in this director's cut with Newt and Ripley, and the sentry gun scene, obviously. So I always go for the director's cut, where you watch it and you go, how do movies get better than this as the movie's going on? And the answer is they don't. I mean, this is just perfect. So yeah, if you haven't seen Aliens yet, I highly, highly recommend you check this out. And if you haven't seen the first Alien, definitely check that out as well. But this is just a fantastic film. It really is. One of the best movies of all time, easily. So that is Aliens. Now, I gotta thank my friend Tom from Tom180. Most of you will know him as. He comments on a lot of people in the community as that username, Tom180. He actually won a competition, and he doesn't really collect 4K. He only collects Blu-ray, and he doesn't know if he's ever going to upgrade. And he said, look, I've won this 4K. I want to send you it. And I was like, look, Tom, you might upgrade one day. And he was like, no. I want to send you it. End of. So through much persuasion, he ended up sending me it. And I really did want to say yes, but I'm not one of them who takes things for granted off people. But yeah, Tom, thank you so much for sending me this. And that is Mute Witness from Arrow Video, who've just released this, I believe. So he won it in a competition. Nice little slipcase there. I haven't checked this out yet, but it does definitely sound like my type of film. I believe it's about this woman who works on a movie set, and she is a mute. She sees this murder happen, and she knows all the information. She's a key witness, and a lot of people go after her. That's what I believe it's called. Tom said he watched it over on, was it Prime or something? And he said he really enjoyed it. And I heard Mike from Cinema Ackman talk about this as well, and he said he really enjoyed this film. I love the cover art and that. Great little poster there. But yeah, very, very happy to own this. There's so many generous people in the community. I know Tom doesn't have his own channel, but he is part of the community anyway. And I call him a friend now. I always speak to him a lot online on Instagram and stuff. Tom, thank you so much for sending me this, mate. I am really looking forward to checking this out. Like I said, July was just a busy month, even not just Blu-ray buying, but movie watching in general. So I really will like to get to this soon. I've been watching lots of it, the Alien franchise lately. This will be close on my radar soon. I'm looking forward to checking that out. Next up, because it was my birthday, my dad usually gives me money for my birthday. But he said, look, I just want to buy you a 4K as well. What one do you want? And I said, you know what? This one came out recently. You can get me this. And that is Peeping Tom, another movie I unfortunately have not seen. I know it's a classic from 1960, I believe. But I've heard so many great things about this. There was a lot of people talking about it when the 4K got released, saying how good it was. Believe it's done in a Hitchcockian style type story. I could be wrong there. But this one looks very, very interesting. So yeah, it's a film I've always wanted to see. And when it came to 4K, I thought, look, I'm going to have to check this out now. But I don't know too much about it. I believe it's just he's a killer who pictures or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it's one I've been very interested in. So that is Peeping Tom. Thanks so much for getting me that, Dad. Now, next up is another upgrade. My wife sort of gave me money for my birthday as well, but she said, look, I want to get you a 4K and a couple of other things. Well, what one do you want? And I should have upgraded this a long time ago, but I finally have now. And it is my favourite movie of all time, Robocop, on 4K. Now, I do own this on Blu-ray in the Arrow boutique style box set. One of my favourite pieces of media that I own. And I think the reason I didn't buy this on 4K straight away is because I just bought that. And I think they brought this out like a year later. I kind of felt like Arrow was shitting on the fans a little bit there, just a little bit, because they just charged us for this boutique style box set, and then they just bring it out a year later. And Arrow are doing that with a lot of their titles. Every month they release new titles. They always throw in an upgrade in there, which I'm not complaining. If people want upgrades to 4K, that is fine. I'm not complaining that there's a Robocop 4K, obviously, but that's why I didn't bite the bullet straight away. But glad to finally own this. I own it 3 times. Now, I own the trilogy box set. I own the boutique box set. Actually, I own it 4 times. Tony from Movies and Us actually sent me a VHS, so I've got that one there, and I've got this now as well. So yeah, I got this movie 4 times, but it is my favorite movie ever. It's the movie I've watched more than any other in my lifetime, and I'm really looking forward to watching this on 4K. I did have a quick sneak peek at it, and it looks fantastic. A little bit of grainy here and there, but that is to be expected. But a lot of the scenes are just light up and just look amazing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking out the whole movie in 4K. I absolutely adore this film. I will be hard pressed to imagine anything will ever top this as my favorite movie of all time. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's my favorite. I think there's a difference. There's a pair, like this is one that I can rewatch over and over and over again. I've watched it twice this year already. And definitely check out that RoboDoc documentary. That's 4 hours long. If you're a fan of this film, definitely worth watching. So happy to own this now. Can't wait to watch it again. Next up, we have Champions. Now, this was one of my favourite movies of 2023 and probably the funniest movie I watched in 2023. And this is Woody Harrelson taking on a team of sort of Down syndrome kids or kids with disabilities. And it's because he's got to do community service because he crashed into a police car when drunk, and he gets sentenced to 90 days community service. And that community service involves him being a coach of this team because he's like a professional assistant manager in the NFL and stuff. And he sort of at first is like, okay, I'll do it, blah, blah, blah. But he grows a bond with these kids as the movie goes on. And it's such a heartwarming film. I think the kids in this are great. They are so funny, and you know, it just really make me laugh in this film. The connection they have with Woody Harrelson is great. You know, he brings them together as a team and stuff, and it's just a real great comedy with a little bit of romance sprinkled in there. Woody Harrelson's got this love interest who's the sister of one of the kids and stuff, and I always like that side of the movie as well. But it's a real good film. You know, it's not an amazing, but it's one of them that's such an easy watch. You'll have a great time with it. And my wife wanted to watch this. I went to cinema on my own to watch this in 2023. So this is a rewatch for me. And she loved it. We had a great time with it. And shout out to the guy, I'm sorry, I forgot who it was, who said this was going for £10 on eBay because it's been like £19, £18 in HMV since the day it released for this standard Amaray. So yeah, I jumped on that deal. So thanks so much for really sorry, the name has escaped me. But yeah, Champions, really good film. Next up, we have a movie that I won in a competition. Yes, another competition here. And that is Immaculate Soring, Sydney Sweeney. Now, this is a pretty good religious horror. It's not really my go-to subgenre of horror, religious horror, but there seems to be a lot of them coming out this year. And this was very similar to The First Omen, but I did prefer this over The First Omen. I think it moved at a better pace. There was a better third act. And Sydney Sweeney is a star, isn't she? So I always like seeing her in movies these days. And yeah, I just thought this was a real good slow build for the first 2 acts, and the third act goes batshit crazy. Definitely recommend this. It's about a nun who wants to give her life to this convent. And when she gets there, she notices a few sinister things happening in the background, and she goes to investigate it. And I'll say no more than that. There's a good few little scares in there. It's very well filmed. great costume design and stuff, but the last 30 minutes is definitely worth the wait, and the final scene is fantastic. But I also won this t-shirt, and it probably needs ironing a little bit, but yeah, won that to go with it. Hope you can all see that, guys. And it's got Sydney Sweeney written on the back. So yeah, happy with that. It's always good to win a competition, isn't it? And speaking of winning things, I didn't really win this, but this was sent to me again by a very kind person over on Twitter. And his name is Dave from the Red Observer. He's a Man United fan. You're not having Jared Branthwaite, mate, even though you sent me this. It's not happening. But that is Ghost Town. Now, I thought this was a really fun movie. I think he had a few duplicate copies of this, but it was still in the cellophane and everything. Thanks so much, Dave, for sending me this. Really, really appreciate it, my friend. And it's always good to hear your thoughts on football and stuff and movies over on Twitter. So thanks so much, man. Really do appreciate this. From 88 Films. And I watched it, and I had a good little time with this. This is about a runaway bride who ends up being kidnapped by this outlaw in this ghost town. And the outlaw and all his friends are there, and they're sort of running this ghost town. They are ghosts and stuff. And it's up to this sheriff to go and try and find her and find out what's happened. And he has to go up against the outlaws and stuff. But there's some real good makeup design in this movie. It's more of an adventure film with horror elements sprinkling in, like an adventure western with horror elements sprinkling in, with them being ghosts and stuff. But yeah, it was a good little low budget 80s. Is it 80s or 90s? Oh, damn, man. 1988, the year I was born. Yeah, it's a good little movie from that era. I always used to see this in the video shop, and I'd always wanted to watch it, but I never ever rented it in the end. But Dave, who sent me this, did, and he said he used to watch it all the time with his brother and stuff. So yeah, man, thanks so much for sending me this, Dave. I probably will watch this again one day. I'm so happy to have it in the collection, and I love that cover art. I think it's great. So a good little western adventure / horror movie there. Now, these next two films were in the A24 sale in HMV. I'm not entirely sure this first one is A24, but it was in the sale. You guys will have to tell me in the comments down below, but it doesn't say A24 anywhere on this cover. I could have swore that it was A24. But that is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Now, I have not seen this film, but I've always been interested in it. I heard Emma from the channel Spooky Astronaut say this was one of the most disturbing films that she'd seen. I think this is kind of a home invasion movie, but I'm not entirely sure. It's got Barry Keoghan in there, Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman. So yeah, this is a movie that I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. Seems very, very unique and different. So yeah, definitely looking forward to checking this. And the title is kind of cool, I feel. Wonder what that means. Maybe it means nothing, who knows, but that is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. These are like £7 in HMV. And the next one I picked up, which I haven't seen again, is Red Rocket. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this movie. Lots of people on my letterbox giving it 4, 4.5, 5 stars. I believe this is about, I don't know if he's an ex-porn star or something, but he comes home to this town. The synopsis was he comes home to this town, but no one really wants him there. And I just thought, that sounds interesting. But I don't know too much about the movie. All I know is that it's very highly regarded. And I've wanted to check it out since I heard people talking about it. So slight blind buy, but I based it on, you know, recommendations of people with the scores they give and stuff. And it is A24. So that is always something to look out for, I suppose. A24 do interesting films. So that is Red Rocket. Now, these last two films, guys, was when I went to meet Sam, John and Nige in Newcastle. I was on a stag do in Newcastle at the start of August, and I was always going to meet Sam. I said to the guy who stag do it was, Stephen, do you mind if I go and meet my friend Saturday morning? He was like, no, do what you want, man. We're here for 2 days. If you want to go and meet your friend, that's fine. I said, I'll only go for like 2 or 3 hours. And yeah, so I did. And I went and met Sam, and John from Mondo Celovic Movies came along, and Nige, Rock God 2004, who I have already met when he came down to Liverpool a couple of months ago. So I was meeting him for the second time. But John and Sam I was meeting for the first time. And I'm sure most of you know these guys, but I'll leave their channel links down below. Sammy G's World of Cinema, Mondo Celovic Movies, and Rock God 2004. And I had such a great time with these guys. We went to Costa. We met up outside the town hall. Then we went to Costa. We sat in there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just chatting movies, chatting whatever, and we had such a great time. You know, I thank you so much, John, for getting the coffees in there. If you ever come to Liverpool, mate, it's my round. But I really appreciate that, John. And you know what? Sam was just as nice as you could imagine him to be. I've been on live streams with Sam, and he's a really nice guy. And he was just no different in real life. You know, he was just a joy to be around. Really nice lad. And I speak to him all the time on Facebook and stuff. So I was glad to finally get to meet Sam. John is, you know, I just knew that I was going to like this guy. You know, I've been on live streams with him before, and he talks to you like he's talking to you in his videos. You know, he really is just that person. He's not trying to be someone else on the camera and everything. He's just a real nice guy. And I felt like I could sit there and talk to John all day. I did, about movies and whatever. You know, he's just, what you see is what you get. He's such a really nice fella. And Nige, you know, with a bubbling personality once again, always great to be around Nige. You know, he's just such a funny fella and a really nice guy as well. So I've really enjoyed it both times I've met Nige now. I can't speak any highly of these three guys. It's so good to meet people in the YouTube community, and these are three of the best, definitely. So, you know, I had a wonderful time, guys. I would love to do it again. And we also went to HMV, and we went in there for like half an hour, but then I had to go. I felt bad that I had left the stag do. They were out drinking again, so I had to go back. It's like a 20-minute walk to my hotel and stuff. But I did pick up two things. The first one I picked up was Poor Things. This is one of my favourite movies that I've seen at the cinema. Was it this year it came out? It came out this year, I believe, but it is a movie from last year. That was released in America and stuff. Thought Emma Stone was fantastic in this movie. Visually stunning film. It's about a woman who kills herself, and William Dafoe's character puts her brain into... Sorry, her child's brain. Her brain into a child's body. Was the woman pregnant, and he puts the kid's brain into this woman? I can't quite remember now. Oh no, he takes Emma Stone's body and he puts this child's brain in her body. So she's a child in an adult body, basically. And she is learning the wonders of the world and stuff, and learning from mistakes as she goes and stuff like that, meeting all these new people. It's a wonderful film. Something totally different from Yorgos Lanthimos. I always pronounce that name. It's a hard one to pronounce. But I think this is a fantastic movie. I definitely recommend checking this out. My dad watched this on Disney Plus, and he went, you know what, that's one of the best films I've seen in years. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Such an interesting movie, visually stunning film. That is Poor Things. And last up, I picked up a double movie pack, and unfortunately I have never seen these films, but I am watching them all at the minute. Now, the reason I haven't watched these, I'll just show you what it is. It's the Aliens vs Predator and Aliens vs Predator Requiem. The reason I have never watched these is because these came out around the time Freddy vs Jason came out, and even though I'm a massive Freddy fan, I just didn't like that film all that much. And I thought, oh, we're just doing this again now. And I never got round to it. I never really wanted to watch it at the time. And so long has gone past that I just thought, is that movie going to be dated and stuff? I've never got round to them. But I'm going to watch them now, before Alien Romulus. I know they're not really part of the Alien franchise anyway, you know, in that canon thing. But I'm going to watch them. I'm going to do it. So I'm actually looking forward to it now. I'm back on the Alien hype train. The first 5 movies that I've watched have all been great. So I'm looking forward to checking these out, but I've heard Requiem is terrible. So there we go. Sorry I only watched half that pile here, guys, but that is my Blu-ray and 4K update. If you want more of these, I'll leave them in the link down below. What do you think of these movies? Please do let me know in the comments down below. And there will definitely not be a big drop off for the next video, because I've already got 2 movies coming in the post, and you know, I'm gonna be picking it back up again very soon. So thanks so much, guys. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video.